puppet strings for the industry decree. In the neon lights, where the shadows intertwine, they lip sync to the script with a pre-written line. Hollow echo, their voice is strange, a soulless melody in a world so famed.
Bill Hicks would laugh at this circus show. A parody of art, a shallow afterglow. But the real rebels, the ones who resist, finds the truth in silence, not in these fake artists' twists.
I suck Satan's cock, that's all I do. I rub Satan's ball with shiny lube. Oh, I suck Satan's cock, that's all I do. I love Satan's balls, I lick them blue. In the smoke and mirrors where the truth gets lost, they count their dollar signs, but at what cost? A mirage of success, a distorted fame. The echoes of authenticity are never the same. Their souls paper thin in the illusion factory where dreams derail. But beyond the curtain, where honesty resides, where true art abides, I suck Satan's cock, that's all I do. I rub Satan's ball with shiny lube. Oh, I suck Satan's cock, that's all I do. I love Satan's balls, I lick them blue. I suck Satan's cock, that's all I do. I rub Satan's balls with shiny lube. Oh, I suck Satan's cock, that's all I do. I love Satan's balls, I lick them blue.
True artists these days are rare, but they're not puppets on the stage. They sing from the heart, resisting the allure of the industry's dark art. They haven't sold their souls for fame and gold. In the echo of truth, their stories will unfold. All right. It's weird though. I don't know if we're on.
What is?
I mean, I'm looking at the streams. And it's all black, man. Oh, now we're...
I can't hear you though.
Damn.
Just put the other mic, man. Just put the other mic.
What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I have to see how the hell it sounds, man. Technical problems. Technical problems, man.
I don't think you're gonna like what.
What do you say?
I don't think you're gonna like the sound.
You see. Oh, that sounds very echoey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is
Man.
that though? Why?
Right? I haven't done shit, man. I haven't done shit. It's just
They gotta fix a lot of shit with this studio one, man. This rumble shit.
right?
There's a lot of stuff for them to fix. I mean, camera-wise, the camera is perfect. It's good.
Yeah.
It's crisp. Yeah, but the audio is trash. Even the options don't make any sense, and I can't hear you now. Nice. Nope. Nothing, man.
It only gives me one option. It's not even the option it gives me, the one you hear from right now, it's
Yeah.
not the right option, man.
The
It's
options that this app or shit gives you anyway, they're not, they don't make sense. Dude, the best one that you hear from me, which is not this one actually, is the one where I get to speak with the speaker, but I can't hear
yeah,
shit. It doesn't make any sense because, well,
yeah. Hold on, this bugs me. Let me refresh. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me refresh this shit.
fresh what, man?
Hold on. It's still the same, right?
No, no, it's good now.
Now I don't hear you. Hold on,
Yo,
unmute.
what?
Now I hear you. You don't hear me now, right?
No, I can hear you. It's good actually.
Is it good now?
Yeah, it's perfect now.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was just a refresh.
You know what this app
Oh,
reminds me of? You know when you were a kid and your TV just fucks up your TV and your dad comes and punches the fuck out of it and it suddenly like works?
yeah, with
This,
the antenna.
yeah, that Persian slap,
Yeah,
yeah, then it works.
old school. Okay, good. So we're gonna check into flat Earth. We haven't done that, me and you. And before that, though, my guy Rufus had a video here. Hold on. Which is really good. Which is really good because look at this. You see this, right?
Yeah.
So basically, what this is you know, the Globers, they say that when you see something going past the horizon, it's because of the curve. But they also say that the Earth is too big to see a curve. So hold on, look at this video, okay? This is a good one. You hear this, right? Let me know.
Is it supposed to be saying something now?
Yeah?
Nope.
You don't hear shit.
Nope.
Are you fucking with me? What?
Why would I be fucking with you, man?
I don't know. What? Hold on. Come on, Rumble Studios.
Wow, you're loud.
Am I loud now? Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Hold on. What about now? What about now?
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay, let me know if you hear the sound now. Did you hear that?
Nope.
Is it because of your setting that you don't hear this?
Why would it be my setting when we did like a
I
stream
don't know.
yesterday? It's the same
Yeah, but
settings.
you
Should
no,
I refresh? Me too.
no.
Or,
Last time you did not have the speakerphone thing you got going over there. Maybe you're the one. Hold on.
but I'm not doing the speakerphone thing. I'm just
Uh-huh.
doing the regular one.
Hold on. Let me just see for myself if I hear through the stream. Hold on.
Ah, this is amazing. This is awesome.
I don't hear. Hold on. What the fuck, man?
What's
This
going on?
sucks. This sucks balls. Yes, it does. It sucks. It sucks.
You're talking about your sound?
I'm talking about everything, man.
Nice.
What the fuck is going on, man? Because I can hear it, but you guys can't hear it. Do I have to refresh it one more time or what? Hold on, let me refresh it one more time. What the
that we couldn't possibly see any curvature. Now, the only problem with
I can't hear you, man.
You can't hear. Can you hear this now?
I can hear you now. Yeah,
Okay, but can you hear the sound here?
explain why we
I
can't
can hear the sound now.
You can
Yeah,
hear
you
the
gotta, yeah, you gotta hit this piece of shit twice for it to work. Yeah,
Oh
it's
man.
like a,
Okay, let me know if you don't hear anything because I have no idea, man. Okay. Okay.
yeah, we're good.
Let's watch this now.
somebody tagged me in this video, and it's supposed to explain why we can't see the curvature of Earth. And the premise of the video is that Earth is so gigantic in relation to us, we are so microscopic on Earth that we couldn't possibly see any curvature. Now, the only problem with this argument is that it negates another argument, which is that we can see boats disappear going over the curvature of Earth standing on the beach. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that Earth is so large you can't see the curvature, and then in the same breath say that there's enough curvature over 3 miles to make an entire ship disappear. It doesn't make sense.
Do you know what he's saying? You know
Yeah,
what he's saying there?
yes.
Like it doesn't make sense. How are you gonna have it? Is it so big that you can't see the curve? Or is it not so big and you can see the curve? They're like, yeah, I'll take a little piece of both. It's too big to see the curve, and it's not too big to see the curve as well. Anyways, let me finish this off.
We have a person standing here that's witnessing a ship vanish right before their eyes. Now, what could make this ship vanish if there is no curvature in between the person and the ship? Convergence, maybe? You guys need to wrap your head around this concept, or you'll forever think you're in outer space spinning on a rock where monkeys turned into talking people. The only reason you can see the sun, the stars, and the moon is because they are not millions of miles away from you. You've been finessed. Why? I have no idea. I don't have all the answers. I'm just pointing out the obvious. You can either take it or leave it. It's up to you. But this is your reality. Your perception of reality will not change the facts. And to see this, you need only to be a critical thinker. I think that's the issue here. Most globe enthusiasts don't think critically. And then you
True.
call us people who do think critically conspiracy theorists, when you guys are the ones with all the damn theories. The theory of relativity, the theory of evolution, the Big Bang theory, the theory of gravity. Everything about this globe that you believe in is
It's a
dependent
theory.
upon theories. And all they have to do is put the word scientific before theory, and you're sold on it. That's wild. Y'all enjoy being lied to. I can't even understand it.
Right. Also, and then, but if you say conspiracy theory, ooh, that's wrong. That's so wrong. What's up, SLRR? What's up, SLRR? How is the sound? Is the sound from my mic good now? Or is it still echoey? It's still a little bit echoey, right?
It's good. It's good.
That doesn't sound too good. It's good. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. All right, maybe it will be better next time. But let's watch this together. Let's go. I hope you can hear this.
You see those videos of the people up in the astronauts up in the space station when they're asked like what they're doing, they're always super vague. They always say, "Oh, we're doing science up here. We're doing a lot of scientific research. You know, we're going to go back to the moon and then Mars and then beyond the solar system." It's always that. They never say anything specific what they're doing.
They're
They
always
just
doing
gotta-
science. They're always doing science.
Yeah, and to me, I mean, it looks like, you know, you got to look like you gotta let people know that the money's being spent wisely. You know what I mean? So you got to have questions like that and videos like that. And now this video that we're going to show, same thing with CERN. Like CERN, they get a lot of money too. So they got to have some reports and they got to have some videos of like what they're spending their money on. And there was this one, I don't know if there was that Brian Cox guy, but one of the CERN guys he was right in front of that big giant circular fucking thing where they collide particles and shit. And you know, he was basically in front of a bunch of people. I don't know what they were. Maybe they were donors or something, but he was basically
Hold
saying,
on.
I wish I could find that video. He's like, yeah, we know.
Hold on.
there's
Isn't
11
it funny that everything weird and bad is in Switzerland? Like we got CERN, You got the WHO. You got the WEF.
You got the
Three things.
FIFA for football as well. The
Oh, you got
organization.
FIFA over there. Take the mic a little bit closer. Yeah. The FIFA.
FIFA.
Yeah.
All
Probably
the
FIFA.
all the, all those accounts for those bankers and all that, you know.
All of that shit. Is that where Satan lives? Who knows? But let's go.
Dimensions, and we're about to find the 12th dimension, but we're gonna need some more money. Like that's what makes me not believe them when they're saying they're finding other dimensions. I'm sure there are other dimensions, but are they finding them? I think the only way you could find them is through mushrooms and DMT, but I don't know. So there's a CERN video that I just saw today, and look what they're spending the money on. Check this out.
Okay, so you and I and everything we know about like this apple are made of what we call matter, normal matter. But there's another possibility in the universe, which is antimatter, kind of an equal but opposite version of the matter that we know and love, which presumably was created in equal amounts at the Big Bang. The problem is these two things don't coexist, and for some reason, only this one survived the Big Bang. So we have a lot of questions about this stuff. Is it really the same? Is it the same when you look at it closely? Does it behave in exactly the same way every time? So one way to think about this is look at the gravitational effects on these two things. Newton told us what happens when we drop this. What happens if we drop this one? Until today, nobody knew. We used the simplest atom, anti-hydrogen, number one, anti-atom. And what we've done in our experiment is to create some of these atoms, trap them using magnetic fields to keep them away from normal matter so they don't annihilate. So we hold them in kind of a magnetic bottle and then release them and see what happens. The answer, as far as we know right today, is that these two things will fall in the same way within the error of the experiment.
It appears they found out that antimatter, some shit they don't even know exists, falls at the same rate as matter. And then that's the commercial. That's a little CERN commercial. Like, what the fuck?
It's all stuff that nobody can verify. Nobody can verify any of this, so they can just talk about it.
Doesn't that make it the same as matter if it has the same physics? Like, like why would it fall the same way as matter if it's antimatter?
Why would it have a different name? Like,
right?
Why would it have?
Because I would think antimatter would not be under the same rules or physics as matter, right? You would think, oh, this is something else. This is antimatter, but it follows the same physics and shit. Oh, okay. Then it's matter. It's just a different type of matter, man.
It's like saying water, but in a different language, basically.
Yeah, right? It's still matter, thing. Man. Just because you call it antimatter. I don't buy that, you mofo. I don't buy that.
About it, and nobody can verify, prove it, or disprove it. So, they claim it's real. Exactly. All of the, the sheeple people, they're like, oh, wow, NASA said it must be cool. NASA says a lot of things. Have you seen this series of articles that have come out? We're always near missed by an asteroid. 23 bozai dogs, right? Yeah. The size of 23 bozai dogs. Then 22 tuna fish. 6 Darth Vaders. How big is a Darth Vader, Eddie?
I think like 30 miles in circumference. I don't know.
A Darth Vader is 30 miles in circumference? That's big. We'd be in trouble. 48 eggplants, I wouldn't even worry about that one, right? How big can an eggplant be? It goes on and on. They had one, it was, I think I just passed it. It was one the size of a matzah, like 800 matzahs or whatever, and it went over on Passover. It literally passed us on Passover, they said. 18 platypuses. What is it? Is this just rubbing it in our face, or is this to capture the kids? Right?
That you think it's coded?
100? Yes, it is.
Well, 100 hot dogs, we don't.
It is. You know why? They're simplifying it. It's like, I don't know if you would do it, simplify images for a monkey or something. This is simplifying it for kids' brains. Like, see, 18 hot dogs, asteroid, That's what I think.
Know what hot dogs are. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I just said coding. You brought up hot dogs.
Yeah.
What else? The size of 100 Barbie dolls.
100 Barbie dolls. Are they just promoting the movie? What is going on? It's just, I think they're just rubbing it in our faces. They're capturing kids' minds, and they're just keeping everybody super dumbed down.
Most movies have some kind of agenda message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I want to know. I think it'd be fucking badass to if there was people out there, maybe Jay Dyer, because he's so good at dissecting movies and their messages. Like a list of movies that are 100% not woke, 100% independent, no agenda behind it. It would be nice to have like a library of those movies. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to tell sometimes because the messages are sometimes they're subliminal. You know what I mean?
The coding, there's globes in every movie. Well, every show, the globes just strategically placed everywhere.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to space movies, I think no matter what the plot is, it would be like nice for the controllers to have a direct message in the plot. But when you're talking about space movies, I think they don't even care about that. As long as it takes the backdrop is space and there's spaceships and there's balls, and I think that's enough. Like they don't even care about, you can fucking talk about anything. So the plot might be like super legit and maybe, righteous or whatever. Like they don't care. It's like as long as it's space and in the background you see balls and then you see spaceships going from planet to planet, that's all that's the most important thing.
I was on a podcast today, a long podcast, and a guy that recently started looking into flat Earth, and he's all about it now. He goes, there's some good globe arguments, and I'm like, no, there aren't any good globe arguments. They're all fallacious. They're all nonsense. And when you look at them, when you hold any of their information, to the test of
Ashman, you said, I think in another stream, you said that you never believed in the ball. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean you never believed in the ball? I mean, I believed in the ball.
It's a very simple reason, man. It's a very simple reason.
You never saw it, or what?
No. I'll tell you why. It started from a religious standpoint, and then when I did dig even deeper, I full on believed in it. So it's like, okay, it's like knowing there's a God, but finally becoming a believer or becoming, you know what I mean? Like, something is wrong and something is not right. And then
you don't believe it.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, man. And I don't even care if somehow this goes viral and a lot of people get pissed off. If you meet a Muslim dude or a woman, and they say they believe that the Earth is globe, they're not really one.
They have to say it.
It's not they have to say it. It's those are people who sell out to the Western ideas of the brainwashing and all that.
So do you think they know? So do you think they know it's flat, but they're saying it's a globe because it benefits them?
No. There's a lot of people who ignore the basics of what the book teaches or what reality is, and then they just choose to believe.
They pick and choose.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Hold on. Measurements are cold for the elites. Awesome show. I saw these videos. Interested in yours interpretation. All right. Cool. Slater. How do you say your name?
Call him slur.
Slur. Slater. Slater. All right. Okay. Cool. Let's go.
The scientific method or just common sense, none of it makes sense. For example, the orbit of the space shuttle, anything that's orbiting the Earth is falling around the Earth. It's not in zero gravity. It actually is falling, but it's falling at the same rate as the curvature.
Also,
right?
Vince.
That's the definition of an orbit, right? So the International Space Station is going 17,005.
Yeah.
I have a funny story for you. Recently, I found out that all the dudes I grew up with all of them are flat earthers, and we never talked about it ever.
What?
Which was weird. Yeah. Like I don't know what it is. Like it never got brought up, the subject, or.
But that's weird because.
That's very weird, yeah.
Because everybody knows that everybody believes it's a globe. So if you know it's not a globe, what's normal is you want to talk about it. Like this.
Yeah, but it's a certain situation where people were like closed up and didn't want to, I don't know, come off embarrassed and were scared or something.
Isn't it ridiculous? Like the brainwashing is so powerful that you can't even talk about this without being ridiculed. It's that alone is very suspicious. That you can't even talk about this without being ridiculed this much.
To be honest, it depends what your character is.
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest. It depends if you're confident enough in your day-to-day life, because some people don't care, like Dave here or Eddie Bravo, like Eddie, for example. The guy, even if he met Trump or Joe Brandon or something, he wouldn't care. He would say, "I believe
Joe
the Earth is
Brandon.
flat." Yeah,
Yeah.
he would say it to God. Like he wouldn't. Yeah, you can tell. The guy
Well,
would be like, yeah,
yeah. Well, I
last.
believe,
Mhm.
like for example, I'm not afraid to say that T women are not women. You know why I'm not afraid of that? Because when push comes to shove, I'm gonna lay it out exactly why I don't believe the obvious thing that T women are not women. What I'm trying to say with this is, as long as you know for a fact the truth, you don't have to be scared of saying any of this. You can just
Yeah,
say it, and once they come back at you saying, "Do you think T women are not women?" Then you will hand them the facts that they cannot touch. So yeah, I agree with you. With if you have confidence, which truth and knowledge gives you, you can actually say, "I believe it's a flat Earth," and then you
I
can
mean, Vince,
hold your own. Yeah.
if someone says, give me advice on how to uh, say the things that I believe in without being scared or being embarrassed or being shy, what advice would you give them?
Say that again.
If someone says, "Hey, Vince, I believe in the flat Earth, or I believe that the moon landing never happened, or I'm
Yeah.
anti-jab or something like that, and I'm
Yeah.
scared to say my opinions in front of people," what do you think I should do to just be more confident or know how to say these things with my chest up and my head held high and stuff like that?
Well,
What advice would you give
I
those
have to
people?
refer back to what I just said. You have to be able to back it up with things that they cannot deny. Just like the video we just saw from Rufus showing, you know, that the Earth is the Globers say the Earth is so big you cannot see the curve. Yet they do say you see the curve once a bolt is disappearing from your view. Stuff
Yeah,
like that. You have to have those things to back you up once they try to ridicule you. Because if you don't have that, then you will be ridiculed on the spot without any of offense. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
yeah,
have to be able to back up anything that is going against the system and that is not really the status quo. You have to be able to back that shit up. Otherwise, you're gonna lose. So
yeah,
I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying you gotta know what to hit them with once they come at you. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, it won't work. It won't work. I can say just be confident. That won't work. Just be strong when you say it. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? Okay,
yeah.
sounds like slur. Your partner got it right. Ashman, yeah. Okay, slur. What are you, Joe Biden's friend? Slur. Are you slurring? Okay, let's go.
5 miles an hour. It's free falling in free space, no resistance, and it's just matching the curve of the Earth magically, while the Earth is spiraling in 3 different directions at once. Several questions I have. One, how does the bottom of the spacecraft always stay towards the Earth? I mean, if it's going around, falling around, wouldn't it just go like that? Why is it going like this?
Maybe they're
Right?
steering it. They're probably
They're not. Well, they're not steering it.
That's true.
But the other thing is, and I went into, I was kind of messing around with ChatGPT, saying, well, how is an orbit is falling? They say that it's free falling, and I said, if something's free falling, what's its rate of acceleration? It gave me the rate of acceleration. I said, will something continue to accelerate if there's no resistance? Absolutely, yes, it will. I said, well, geostation.
Flat Earth Dave got a great point there. He's like, why is it always in line with the ground? Why isn't it just fixed in a position and then traveling around the ball? Why is it always faced straight down to the ground, this satellite, once it's rotating? You know what I mean? Why is it happening like this? Why isn't it just, if it was fixed like this, why isn't it just like that around the world?
Yeah.
Do
The
you know what I
Globers
mean?
would say it's gravity.
Yeah, but gravity would hold it that way. Still, I mean that gravity doesn't have to make it maintain the, there's a lot of fucking holes. There's a lot of holes in this bullshit. A lot of holes, man.
Stationary satellites are going at a consistent speed. How are they free falling? And the chat GPT goes, oh, yes, thank you for correcting me. I guess it does speed up. And I'm like, well, then how does it stay over the same point of land? And he goes, well, because it maintains the same speed. It's just circular arguments, right? I thought ChatGPT was going to have some good stuff, but literally you can totally trap it every single time. And it's just a circular reasoning, and it won't admit when it's wrong.
You should do that live on your podcast. Like, you could, there's endless topics you could, in regards to flat earth, that you could test AI with.
A geostationary satellite, that's one that stays over the same piece of land. They say those are at the equator, and they're 21,900 miles away or whatever it is, right? And so I said, what speed are they going at? Because the equator's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and the ChatGPT said, oh, it's going at the same matching speed. I'm like, wait a minute. If the radius of the Earth is 3963, that's what ChatGPT says it is, I said, and it's going 1,000 miles an hour, the radius of the satellite would be that distance plus 21,000 miles, whatever I said it was. So they would have to go much faster. And it's like, oh, thank you. Yes, it would have to be going 22,800 miles per hour. And I'm like, how did it get to that speed? Like, how do we have rockets that can push something to that speed?
Yeah.
Right. And then think about a geostationary. Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was going to say, think about a geostationary, geostationary satellite.
Like,
so if
right, it's like yeah.
Dude, it's usually like him being like Dave in the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
So he's the one who's talking. Now he's just like, oh shit.
Yeah. On this, Dave is Eddie Bravo, and Eddie Bravo is somebody else. I mean,
yes.
If we look at this is our solar system. We're spiraling, spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. So that geostationary satellite, 20,000 miles away, has to match the spin of the Earth. Right? It has to match the spin. That's a consistent spin. Okay, interesting. It's orbiting in an elliptical orbit, speeding up and slowing down around the sun, 66,000 miles an hour average. How does it match that speed? And then also chasing the sun close to 500,000 miles per hour in a curve. None of these are straight lines, right? How does it mirror all of those motions?
Yeah.
And what happens here is it's such a hard question that people just short circuit and they go, I don't know, I have to ask a guy in a bow tie. Okay, I have to ask a guy in a bow tie to figure that one out.
That's what they count on.
Yeah, man. The curvature formula, that 8 inches per mile squared, that is that, does anybody question that? Is that like legit? That's the formula for a ball that's 25,000 miles in circumference approximately. There's no one doubts that.
Well, no, the globe zealots, they definitely challenge it. But when we hold them to it, I'm trying to find my here it is. It's based on the Pythagorean theorem, right? Whoops, that's not what I want to show. Hold on.
I love that video.
It's based on the Pythagorean theorem. And people are like, oh, what do I? A squared plus B squared equals C squared? Yeah. So if A squared plus B squared equals C squared, right? So I'll just go through this real quick, right? A squared, B squared, C squared, right? So if somebody's standing on the Earth, right? And we have A is the distance to the center, B, let's call it 100 miles, and C would be the hypotenuse, and then the difference in the hypotenuse to the radius would be the drop. Pretty easy, right? So if we add all the numbers in, we find out that the drop at 100 miles is 3,964. Well, the total drop is 1.2 miles, and that actually works out perfectly with 8 inches per mile squared.
Hold on. I just got a thought. I have to say it. The UN. The UN has this flat Earth map, which is hold on. UN map. Okay. No, was it UN? It was UN, right? Yeah. This one. Let me get a good one. So, do you see this?
Yeah.
You don't see it, right? Hold on. Right here, right?
Yeah.
So the globers are like, yeah, but they just do that to make it fit fit all the continents into that shit, right? Okay. But why are they distorted? Do you see Australia or whatever the hell it is? Why are they not looking like on the globe? You know what I mean? Like, but put in a circle or whatever you do. Why
Yeah.
is it distorted like this? Because this isn't how they look regularly on the map. You know what I mean? So I find this very weird that they do this. They could have
Also,
done.
for something that's professional, like that's very professional. They can't afford to be, I don't know what it is. Like they can't afford to just say, "Oh, we just put the continents like that to just to make it simple for people." And why there's a
Yeah.
lot of empty space there, Vince. If you see
Yeah.
that, there's a
Yeah.
lot of empty space, man.
Yeah. So this doesn't make any fucking sense. Any fucking sense. Thank you, Slur. Hold on. Shared you guys on Twitter. I don't have a big following though. Doesn't matter, Slur. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to it.
3 formulas. Some of them are way more complicated. The other 2 are way more complicated. But if you chart them out to over 1,000 miles, which we can't see that far, 8 inches per mile squared gives the globe the benefit of the doubt more than the others. It says there's less curvature. Okay, so flat earthers, we gave the globe the advantage. We took the worst formula for flat Earth. So the other 2 formulas say there's more curvature than 8 inches per mile squared says.
Yeah, I mean, if whatever the size of the ball is, there's got to be a curvature formula for it. From a tennis ball to
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of formula. So a curvature formula, there has to be. I mean, it's science, right? Math, right?
Yeah.
Who came up with the 8 inches per mile square?
Hold on. I have to say this too. I'm no construction expert, but to me it feels weird. If you're building, you're building a big building or whatever, are you taking in any curvature, or are you using a level, a measurement tool that looks for levels? Do you know what I mean? When you're building the foundation of a structure or
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do you where are we at the curve right now? Are we here? Oh, we have to put. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. They just probably put a tool that measures level, and then they do the foundation based on what that tool shows them. Now, I'm not an expert. I could be talking out of my ass. I could be completely wrong. I'm just using my own logic here. Would they use a level tool, or would they look like, okay, where are we in the curvature or whatever? Or, does that even... What's up, Ian Wilson? A logo isn't a map. But why didn't they use the real logo, Wilson? Why? Anyways. Do you have anything to add to that, or should I continue?
No. Let's go.
Came up with that?
I don't know exactly where it came from or who found it, but it's based off of the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem is a provable thing. So if we have a ball, we know the radius and we know the distance tangent to, at a right angle, we can figure out the drop. That's it. That's all it's doing.
Yeah,
and 8 inches per mile squared is just a simple way to do it.
And I wonder who came up with it. I believe it, but even if it's wrong, and let's say, because I always talk about the curvature at 100 miles. Obviously on land, you got mountains, valleys, hills. You can't get anything accurate on land. You can't really, it's got to be on the water, because in the ocean, there's no valleys or mountains. Everything is it's supposed to be a ball, right? The ocean's supposed to be a ball. Ocean's not square. So in the ocean, it's kind of undeniable once you put that formula to the test at 100 miles. So at 100 miles, it's roughly, there should be 6,000.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm pausing a lot, but, I have to say this as well. The globies, they're like, yeah, it's the curve, that makes the bolt disappear or whatever, right? Okay. Why isn't it curving on the sides? Why is it only curving straight? You know what I mean? Why do we never see a curve to the edges? Do you know what I mean?
Well, you need a fisheye to make it curve.
That's true, right? I want to see curves to the edges of my view, on the horizon. I want to see some curve, because it can't be curving this soon, straight forward, yet not curving on the sides, which probably is further away if you look at, if you really look at the horizon. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, motherfuckers. It doesn't make sense. All of you believe in Santa Claus. Hold on. They don't want you to know the real map. Exactly, Slur. All just concept. Exactly. Because it's in 3 dimensions. Do you know everything is in 2D? Do you know that, Wilson? Our reality is not even.
10 feet of curvature, correct?
6,600, but we'll round down and give the globe the benefit of the doubt. Over a mile of curvature. Over a mile.
Yeah, even if it's 1,000 feet, you know what I mean? Even if it's way off and it's 1,000 feet, a Navy ship shouldn't be able to take a picture of another ship, like a laser pinpoint, at 100 miles. Even if it's way off, even if it's at 1,000 feet, you still wouldn't be able to see anything 100 miles away on the ocean if we're on a ball that's 25,000 miles in circumference, correct? I mean, that just makes sense.
100%. And people say, well, the bottoms of boats disappear. No, when we look out here, this is an interesting day where there's some swells and these boats come back into vision here. And what we're seeing here is a false horizon. Okay. These are waves in the foreground that create a false horizon. If you watch these boats, are they going over the curve? Or no, they're just clearly going behind ocean swell. So when you have waves out there in the foreground, those waves can hide an entire ship or a city, right? Little waves can hide an entire ship. But this is not behind the curve. It's just.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I have to catch Wilson right here. Do you see what Wilson says here?
Yeah, this is the perfect video for Wilson.
Right? I got you, Wilson. I got you.
Wilson has PTSD from those waves. If you ever seen the Castaway movie, the ball is named Wilson.
With Tom Hanks.
Wilson, yeah, with Tom Hanks, the ball is named Wilson. So this is fucking perfect.
Wilson, I got you, okay? You say what? You are way too small to see the curve. This video is for you. You see this video? We played it in the beginning. This is just for you, man.
Somebody tagged me in this video, and it's supposed to
Just
explain why we can't see the curvature of Earth. And the premise of the video is that Earth is so gigantic in relation to us. We are so microscopic on Earth that we couldn't possibly see any curvature. Now, the only problem with this argument is that it negates another argument, which is that we can see boats disappear going over the curvature of Earth standing on a beach. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that Earth is so large you can't see the curvature and then in the same breath say that there's enough curvature over 3 miles to make an entire ship disappear. It doesn't make sense. We have a person standing here that's witnessing a ship vanish right before their eyes. Now, what could make this ship vanish if there is no curvature in between the person and the ship? Convergence, maybe? You guys need to wrap your head around this concept, or you'll forever think you're in outer space spinning on a rock where monkeys turned into talking people.
Anyways, so basically, you can't have it both ways, man. So if the Earth is too big to see any curve, then what's happening here, man? What's happening here? Because there ain't no curve, Wilson. You can take a picture of your cat and see the back of his head. That is 2 dimension. Listen, don't start me on this. Listen, the whole 3D reality is 2D, giving you the illusion of 3D. It's always based on 2 axes. Up, down, left, right, in, out. Anyways. Just like we right now, this screen that you're watching right now, it's 2D, but we look like we're 3D. Illusions. They want us to believe things, Slur. They want us to believe things. A sailor just came out, flat Earth, saying he can prove distances are smaller in north and larger in south. I don't expect we've been lied to. I don't know. I don't know, except we've been lied to. Why does Dave use a small boat? It doesn't matter which boat you use. Doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, I've seen those videos with big ships, like the cargo ones.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Small, big.
Behind a swell, right? It's just behind a swell. Like, Eddie, can my finger hide my entire face?
Not right there.
Right, but closer again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. Same thing on the water. Same thing on the water. And then people just don't understand how our eyes see, how our grid of vision works, right? We see in the same distance in all directions, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we see farther when we look up because we can see because the air is thinner. But if you connect all those points, that creates a dome around you, a vision dome. That's how we see. We only can see so far in every direction, and that creates what I call an azimuthal grid of vision or a personal atmospheric dome.
Sam Tripoli and I are coming to your town. Catch us on the road doing tinfoil hat comedy. Follow me on Instagram at tinfoil hat comedy night. That's people, into reality.
Right, and I think it was the Bellagio I was in last time. I went to one end of the hall. The lights were touching the floor at the far end of the hall, right? Yeah. And from just the way perspective, literally the lights merged with the floor just in a hallway. But let me just show you real quick. So here's a guy. This line is at his eye level. And if I throw this mountain in here, we got the sun up here. The mountain is thousands of feet above his eyes, right? We can agree with that. And then the sun moves away, not down. Now, this guy knows that the sun is not below the horizon. It's just behind the mountain. Just like if you're standing in the road and the sun is above you, there's a 10-story building across the street, and the sun moves past the building. It's now blocked by the building. Now, it's still in the sky. It's just blocked by the building. Now, if you walk backwards away from that building, you'll see the sun again. If this guy goes back or the mountain is moved forward, it lowers, and now we can see the sun again if he's far away. Now, remember, this line here is thousands of feet over his head, but he sees it at eye level, right?
Yeah.
And then if the sun goes away, it's going beyond the mountain, just like the building I was describing. And then if we add the cloud deck, the clouds, they all merge into this eye level line also, and the sun goes away over the clouds, and it's now going behind the clouds, the atmosphere, and the mountain. Remember, this mountain.
And basically, what he's talking about right here is the third dimension in the 3D. Are you there? What happened to you? Hold on. Hold on. Are you back? Yeah. So basically what he's showing here is the third dimension, the dimension that goes in and out, depth, And that is what's causing this thing that he's talking about with the perspective. Everything goes to the middle or whatever. Hold on. Yes, your picture is 2D. I can't see the back of your head, just like making a logo with all the continents. Yeah, it's 2D, giving the illusion of 3D. You can never see the back of your head ever, unless, you put a mirror. Vision dome. Horizontals never cross with perspective. Listen, the sizes are finite. You can scale an exact model. We shouldn't see as far as we do. Dave's gonna cover it all. Cover it all, exactly.
Line is thousands of feet over his eyes. These clouds are thousands of feet over the mountain, and the sun was well above all of that. So everything goes beyond, nothing goes below.
Hold on, what did you say?
I can't hear Dave now.
Okay. Maybe I have to share it again. Hold on. Because you went out or something. Can you hear it now?
Yeah, just like when you.
Nope.
Okay, hold on. Let me refresh.
Oh shit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if you can hear Eddie now.
See a plane going away from you.
No, you can.
I can.
Okay, good. Whew, all right.
It gets low as it gets lower and lower and lower, but you know it's not going low or going down. It's just perspective. Right. People don't understand perspective. The analogy, the one where you stand in the middle of a street and then you look at all the light posts and how they're going down. It looks like they're going down and coming into you, but they're not. All the light posts are exactly the same height.
Yeah, what he's talking about right here, right? Light posts. Whatever. Light posts. What do you type to see down the street? Come on, man, give me something. What about this?
Talking about the ones.
Yeah, the ones that get smaller and smaller and smaller. What should I type for that?
The highway?
Yeah, maybe. It may be highway. I don't know. Yeah, okay, let's take this one. Let's take this one.
Yeah.
In a 3D world, it has no choice but to do this, because if it doesn't do this, then the other option would be that they're all having the same size, right? So if they're all having the same size, that would just be weird. You know, you would not be able to do a distance measurement on them. They're all the same size. You know, in this 3D world, how we see things are when they get smaller or bigger. That's how we determine. That's the whole point of a 3D world, so that we can, go in or go out. So it has to do this in the 3D world. Otherwise, it won't be able to make sense of anything. But this is still, they're all still the same size. These street lights or whatever, highway lights or whatever you want to call it. You know? And the same goes with the sun. The sun follows the same pattern, right? The same thing. What's up, Flatterkush? Over there in Rumble. Waves, trees, mountains, denser than air. Yes, exactly. So you can see the top through the denser air, but not the bottom. Apparently, that's something how this works, this reality. Yes, Flat Earthers don't understand perspective. We do understand.
But based on what you see, I mean, if you just look at it, you say, "Oh man, each light post is shorter than the next one. It just keeps getting shorter." If you don't understand perspective and you're a retard, that's what you would think. But even kids know that it appears to be lower, but it's only perspective. And then the next light post appears to be lower, but it's only perspective. People don't understand perspective. They don't. Sometimes, most of the time, they don't even know what they're looking at.
This is going to show everyone that they don't know what they're looking at. Okay, Eddie, you got 3 lines: yellow, orange, and red. Which is the highest line?
I'm going to say yellow. I know it's a trick question.
And which one is the longest line?
The red one.
Okay. So here I am, and this is a bush that's 5 feet over the deck. And so that's the height of the red line. This is the deck. So that's 5 feet below this line. And the deck is 10 feet above the beach. So the ocean, this is the level of the ocean, ocean's level, is 10 feet below that. So this is 15 feet lower than this line. And this is a couple of miles. This is 20 feet. And this is maybe 7 feet. Okay?
Yeah. I love that, man.
So
you got a lot of new analogies, man. I like that. Give me all the new shit. That's a great one, man.
I have a great one. Here,
I'm still with the street light, dude. I'm still with the street lights and the long hallway. Right. I'm still with that.
So let's see if you've learned. So here we have a line. We add another line, couple more lines, right? And which line is the highest?
I'm going to say the bottom one.
The bottom one. Okay. Yeah. All right. In fact, you're wrong. They're all the same height as all of the lights. These are just connecting all of the lights. So they're all the same height. Yeah. There's no way to win with me. I never let anybody win, just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, do you do this when you debate people?
I don't really debate. I don't go against these, what I call these anti-flat earthers, paid or possessed trolls. They don't want to learn, right? I want to talk to people like you. I want to talk to people that are just learning about flat earth, or people that think it's stupid because they don't know about it. And then I show them and they're like, wow. And I'm like, don't believe me, go look deeper. But I show them where to look because, as you know, you can't Google it anymore. Like when you and I were learning,
Yeah, YouTube, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I've been like that for a couple of years now. Like I'm not interested in, if you don't understand what's going on by now, especially in politics, and if you don't understand what's going on, if you're still with Biden and all that, I'm like, I'll be wasting my breath, put my risking my life for these retards. Like, I don't care anymore. I mean, I'll talk about what I think is real, what I think is true, or what might be true, with people who want to know, who look at me like, damn, I know you're in the trenches every day researching and looking into everything. What about this? And what do you think about that? I love talking to those people. But man, I got a lot of people I love, close friends, that they don't ever ask, I got guys who go, dude, hey, what else is new? What else is going on? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then I got guys like, well, explain this and explain that. Why is this one? And no matter what, and these are people that don't even pay attention to anything. There's people that I know that they claim, oh, I don't watch CNN, I don't watch MSNBC, so I don't watch none of that shit. But if you don't watch anything and you don't pay attention to anything, you will be right. You will coincidentally believe all the shit mainstream media is saying, and you don't even watch it. You know why? Because you're not watching it. You're not analyzing.
Let me say this. I don't know about you, Ashman, but have you ever found a person you're like, yeah, this is a cool person, you know, you can talk about a bunch of stuff, but then you find out they got a limit. What I mean is they have a limit to what they can talk about. Like they can talk
Oh
about this,
yes.
that, but not that thing. And you're like, oh,
There's
there's a
there's a scarier one,
what?
which is you talk with someone and you're so in tune with them, because this happened to me once. You're so in tune with somebody, and you're like, oh man, this is great, man. This is beautiful. We're having a discussion and shit, and you're
Yeah.
like starting to get new subjects and new subjects and you so far you're in tune with this person. You totally agree. Even if you disagree, it's not very hostile. And then you mention something, and then they turn on you. And it's like
Ah.
it's you see like an aged Smith or some shit, and they're like, what do you mean you don't believe?
Yeah, they're
Like
just like a switch, right? Like a switch.
it's it's a switch. Now these couple of the
It's
last 3 years,
crazy.
you know what the switch was.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
the this yeah, you know,
yeah,
so
yeah. You know that
yeah.
thing.
So I
But isn't that
listen,
crazy though? Isn't
I
that
know, man.
crazy? You get so disappointed. You're like, oh, you know. To me, we're gonna go back to it, but I just love it when I find somebody that you can pretty much talk about. There is no limits. You know what I mean? That to me tells me there is uh, the door is open for growth here. We can grow here
Yes.
because
You can
once
learn
there
from each
is,
other as well.
yeah, exactly. Because once I see that somebody has a little, limit to what they can talk about, I don't know. I get disappointed. Anyways.
It, and then you're hearing a little thing, a little news clip here from a friend, and then a family member, and then you're putting it all together, and then you hear it again, and you're hanging around with a bunch of people that are watching the MSM, and then that's why, coincidentally, you don't even watch CNN, but everything you're saying is right in line with CNN. I think the controllers would rather have people not believe in it and believe it's all fake, and everything is fake, everything is real, it's just all acting. They like that because then people don't pay attention, and they're worried about the people paying attention trying to change shit. That's who they're worried about. They're not worried about the people who think they're demons but they're not paying attention anyways, and they're all out on a farm, and they're just no internet, and they're like, oh, okay, like those people are easy. They have nothing to worry about with those people. Those people aren't going after them or anything. They're not spreading information. So
let me show you. Let me show you a new thing. You might
Okay.
not. I think this is another nail in the coffin. Locks the coffin. It's over. So if you're on an airplane, right, on a ball, right, so you're taking off you're always on the top, and you're flying halfway around the world. You're flying over the ball, right?
Yeah.
So those stars in front of me are now over me, and I'm looking at completely different stars over there.
Yep.
Okay. Here's a time lapse from, I think it was Berlin to Brazil, somewhere down in South America, about halfway down, for over 4,000 miles. And these stars should be processing up as he's diving over the ball.
Yeah, basically, if you're going around the ball, they should be,
Different fucking stars in the sky.
yeah, they should be, going above your head because you are going around the ball. When you're going around something, the star should, flow above you. But it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that here. Okay? That means we're not living on a fucking ball, man. Simple.
Dude,
over 4,000 miles. And
there are people who would say that, yeah, bro, the stars change, but you don't. And I'm like, but we're on a spinning ball, dumbass. Of course it's changing as well, right?
yeah, well, you know what they're saying? They have some ridiculous thing that they say. They're like, they are so far away. We're talking infinitely far away that it doesn't matter how you move. They are fixated because they are so far away. We're talking gazillion miles. Gazillion miles. I said this before on the other stream I did with Ted and Bill and Rufus and Death. I said this. Listen to this. I don't know if you heard it. You probably did. If it was the other way around, if everybody thought the earth was flat and that was the norm, and you came with these bullshit explanations about it being a ball, You know, with all of these theories and shit that you can't prove, and all this shit. With the sun, the sun and the moon, they happen to be the same size because the sun is 400 times bigger and 400 times further away. All these bullshit excuses that the Globies gives.
Yeah.
The flat earthers, the people that thought the earth was flat, would never buy any of that shit. Ever. You know what I mean? Because it's ridiculous. They would be, shut up. The earth is stationary. That fucking sun is moving. So is the moon. And I don't know what the fuck that is, the stars, but you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
These stars should be processing up as he's diving over the ball.
Yeah.
But they're not. They only have the slight turns. And this is what Google Earth says should happen. So the simulation of the globe that we all live by says, oh, these stars, as you're diving over, should be rising up, right? But they don't rise up. Reality, this is a simulation that we're supposed to see, but reality shows the other. So the globe trolls come out and they say, oh, well, that's because you're going with the spin of the earth and it's canceling it out. Well, you'd have to be going 1,000 miles an hour and you'd have to be going east. This was going southwest, I believe, more south. And if that was true, even if the earth was canceling it out because you're going with the spin of the earth, or, the earth is spinning like that, on the way back, then the stars should move twice as fast because you're going against them. But they don't. In both directions, it's filmed in both directions. None of the stars rise up. Here's a little. Somebody did a little experiment. So they got a globe, right? And so this is where the plane took off. And just imagine that these words on the wall are the stars. So as he's flying over, the stars are going to just rise up, right? Rise up. He's doing a little Professor Dave joke there. So he did it with a laser. Let me get to the laser. So he's got a laser, and just watch the laser. It goes down, right? Laser's on top. As he's going down, this is his forward view. The stars would be rising up. It doesn't happen. Reality shows a flat Earth plane, and nonsense, Google Earth, shows what we would expect to see if we lived on a ball.
I saw this video, speaking of stars, not too long ago, maybe a week or two ago, about a guy explaining, based on like Egyptian writings and, that we are all stars. Like when we're born, we're actually a star in the sky and we're connected to, because there's billions of stars, right? There's billions of people, there's billions of stars. There's a shitload of stars. They say hundreds of billions or whatever. And this guy's saying that we are actually a star in human form. That when we die, we go back up to that star. Like everyone's got a different star.
Oh, this is interesting.
So, let me say first, my mother named me.
This is interesting what he's talking about here, Eddie. That
Okay.
we all have a designated star connected to us, like a video game or something. We're connected to that star, and that is our outer version or our spirit or soul or whatever. And once we die, we travel back to that star, or whatever. I don't know. It's a funny, interesting thought.
Interesting.
Even if you knew neither and approached from globe all the bullshit math, yeah, they wanna confuse you with a bunch of math stuff. People in Australia walk out their doors and look due south and see the Southern Cross all night long. That is a polar rotation. Dude, I don't know. I just know it's a flat Earth, okay? It's a plane. It's a virtual reality. Every virtual reality is a plane, It's built on a plane. And there is also another video. There's another video. I have it bookmarked on Twitter somewhere. That shows side by side how a globe should look like and how our reality actually looks like when you go higher and higher. It basically shows that if it was a globe, eventually the higher you go, the horizon would be lower and lower. You would start to see the ball. You never do that. The higher you go in this reality, it's still a plane. Doesn't matter how high you go. I will have to show the video, but it's a perfect example of that it's not a ball.
David, after the Star of David, that has anything to do with it. But I believe, and again, you want to talk about flat Earth? We don't have to speculate about the stars. We don't have to go beyond Antarctica. We don't have to go above where we can go. We can prove the Earth is flat without leaving our own home. It's very simple. But yeah, I think that we are eternal beings, and our perfection, our soul, if you will, lives as stars, if you will. Maybe the stars are angelic forms of us, and we are just manifesting in this physical simulation.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, right? There's definitely enough stars, for everybody. One star there's billions of stars, right? So that's super interesting how, because whether you believe in astrology or not, some people think it's nonsense. A lot of it seems to like work out, you know. I mean,
and maybe maybe the star thing that he's talking about here, that we all got a star connected to our being. Maybe that also has something to do with the astrology thing when you're born. You know, when you're born, like let's say we have reincarnations and stuff like that. Depending on which star we choose next time when we come back here, let's say you choose a different star in a different time, that affects your avatar next time. Like, I don't know what you believe, Ashman, regarding astrology, but that shit there seems to be something to that shit, because these fixed stars, there's something to
astrology.
You know, but I didn't either, but now I'm gonna look into that, because there is something with that shit. It's a clock. It's a big clock rotating month by month. But anyways, that's a different stream.
Stream, yeah.
That's a completely different stream. Hold on. Ooh, we are stars. Why are you laughing? Dude, you can literally get a brain chip today by Elon Musk. A couple of years ago, you would have been laughing at that too. Now that's normal. You know what I mean? So people in the 90s would laugh at you talking about a smartphone. What a smartphone can do today. You know what I mean? With all these filters and shit. You know what I mean? They would be laughing at you. But now it's normal. You know what I mean? So do not dismiss anything regarding this reality, because this reality is pure magic. Pure magic. All of it is just like magical stuff. Hold on. People in the South can view the Southern Cross all night. Flat earthers say space isn't real, yet there are stars in space. No, there are stars up there, but that doesn't mean that's an imaginary space. How about during the day? Using the theodolite shows that horizon does drop. It does not drop, man. Show me, where does it drop? What about evil fuckers? Cosmos? Chomos? Just go back to their stars. Maybe there are evil stars as well. Evil stars. Hold on. Might want to check into that a little bit more. You got about 8 hours max, and it moves across the southern sky. Nice try though. Also, 24-hour sun should do flat Earth in, but actually, when you look, there isn't one.
Especially with people that you click with, it's generally like 3 or 4 signs that always come up. That your closest friends are always 3 or 4 signs, and it's like and there's 12 signs, and there's 12 notes of music, and each note of music.
Well, this you believe in, Ashman, right? That there are some people you just can't gel with, like the energy's off. Have you never encountered some? Yeah, have you ever encountered somebody that you just can't get along with? Like,
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just something there. You're kind and everything. You're not an asshole, but it just doesn't. The energies doesn't sync.
Yeah, I have a cousin actually like that. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Even family. You know, this can be in family or whatever. So what he's talking about is maybe that's because a different astrology. Your cousin you might need to look at what your cousin is astrology-wise and yourself, and then maybe see if there is something to that, because that's what he's saying. Anyways.
Music has 3 or 4, and there's 12 signs that you click with, things that like work out. You know, I mean, like especially with people that you click with, it's generally like 3 or 4 signs that always come up. That your closest friends are always 3 or 4 signs, and it's like and there's 12 signs, and there's 12 notes of music, and each note of music has 3 or 4 that other notes that harmonize well with it. You know what I mean? It seems like, and we're all frequencies, and stars are frequencies, electromagnetic realm that we're in. It seems like, you know what I'm talking about? There's 12 astrological signs, and then there's 12 notes of in music. I'm Eddie Bravo, founder of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu with over 150 schools and over 30,000.
Did you know that apparently the end of the year is not the 20 like December. It's apparently in March. The real end of the year is in March or some shit like that.
Yeah, but that's like in isn't that the fucking a different time, a different
Yeah, Iran.
I can't remember that.
Iran has that thing. Iran has where they celebrate New Year's around 21st of March or something like that.
Wow.
But you're laughing, and I was too.
No.
But think about this. The winter kind of ends at the end of March. It doesn't end in December, right?
Yeah.
So the beginning of the year should be when winter ends. You know what I mean? Because that's the yes. And when does spring come? After March, right?
After March.
So theories is that they have been messing around with that calendar and tricked us that the year ends in December when it really ends in March. I remember when I was young, I was like, okay, it's a new year. Why the fuck is the winter still going fucking 4 months or 3 months more? It's a new year. Let's get summer back up. Let's start shit up again. No. And I never got that. I was like, why is this shit continuing into almost April? You know what I mean? Anyways, who knows? Who knows, man?
Yeah.
A note can harmonize with most notes if you just separate, and then it's all how you put the scale. But when they're really close together in the same octave, it's like the fifth, the fourth, the third. Like those are the ones that harmonize well in music. And it just seems like if you're a Taurus, and the Taurus is like E, you're gonna harmonize well with B's, and B's are like Leos, other Tauruses, Virgo. Like obviously you're gonna harmonize with other Tauruses because it's the same note, so that's obvious. So at most astrological signs, probably I assume they get along with other people of the same sign. And like for me, I'm a Taurus. I get along with Leos, Virgos, Aries, and Pisces the most. It's crazy. It seems like I like certain signs. They're just you just don't mesh for some reason. And I don't know, man. I'm not this crazy mystical crystal type person, but there is something to astrology, and there's something to those lights in the sky, and they're not billions of miles away. I believe those lights in the sky. I don't know, man. It seems like maybe we do have a star. Everybody has a star up there, and that's where our energy comes from. And then when we die, we go to that star. Who knows what those stars are? I don't know.
I'm with you. I've been saying that for a long time. And whether you believe it or not, the people that are trying to control this world, they believe it. They operate by it, and they use it. They say that millionaires have financial advisors and billionaires have astrologers.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, it's all interesting. So I have a new thing I want to discuss, and I want to get your opinion on it. Right? So people, if the Earth is flat, well, how do satellite phones work? Because everyone's buying satellite phones now. And satellite phones, they cost like $5 a minute or whatever. It's crazy. It's just like being on a ship out at sea. If you want to make a phone call to the mainland in the middle of the ocean, it's like $5 a minute. It's like satellite phone. It's like whatever they're doing. So what is a satellite phone? So let's look at this first. We're looking at these are the satellites that they're tracking around the Earth. Supposedly, this is a live tracker. Okay, right? I just added all of the debris that they're tracking. So supposedly NASA is tracking all of this. Okay. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's absolute insanity. They can't find a freaking jet fighter over Virginia or wherever it was, right? But they can keep track of all of this stuff in space while we're corkscrewing through space. Okay. So remember, we got geostationary satellites at 20,000 miles away. Okay. 20,000 miles away. And we have all of these satellites whizzing all over the place. And where are they getting the power? Oh, they got solar panels, right? I was in the solar power business. I know how much power a solar panel can make. It can't make enough power to transmit 20,000 miles to Earth. Okay. Let alone handle millions of calls or, and television signals and everything else. So how do satellite phones work? Well, you need a power source. You need a transmitter. So remember, we're corkscrewing through space, and all of those satellites are just traveling with the Earth in this nonsensical, complete bullshit system. All right. So once you basically could stop there and go, okay, this is ridiculous. So what's going on? Right. So we have, let me just let this go forward a little bit. All right. So remember Felix Baumgartner, whatever his name was, the Red Bull jump?
Yes.
At 120,000 feet, 127,000 feet, 24 miles up, they were losing communication with him. They were underneath him with a giant transmitter, giant dish, and whatever they were using, and they could barely communicate with him.
Yet
at
they could talk with the
24 miles
moon.
up, directly above him.
Is there audio footage of their communication?
I had heard it a while ago, and I know the one they did with David Blaine, same thing happened. Not even as high, but I've been wanting to go find that. So let's just look at that. So here I got him here. This is not even the scale because he'd be way closer to the Earth if that was the Earth. Okay, so that's 24 miles up. Okay, so now we'll put a geostationary satellite 22,787 up. Okay, it's about 6 Earth distances or whatever it is. Okay, and so remember, this is keeping pace with this motion, right? So this satellite traveling at 21,927 just to keep up with the Earth and match all the other spins and orbiting at that speed and chasing at that speed. Magically, it can keep its position. Let's pretend that's all true. Look at its view. I'll show you that in a second. So now we're going to go to cell towers. Okay, cell towers. So cell towers, this is not the scale. Let's pretend these are all cell towers, all these things, and each cell tower sends out its signal, and that's where you can get service. So they put all these towers up, and they all overlap each other. Okay. Right? That's how cell towers work. I drove from South Jersey to Connecticut, didn't lose a phone call. I was on the phone the whole way, and it's jumping from tower to tower to tower to tower to tower, right? That's the understanding you have, and that's how it works. So let me ask you a question. If this car was moving through here, we know that works. What if all of these cell towers were magically floating in the air, and they were moving instead of me? It would still work, right? Because that whole grid would be moving over me, right? I have magically floating cell towers, okay? So now, let's just go a little farther here. These have power. The cell towers are wired in and have power. Where are all of these getting their power from? Right? Okay. And why do we need so many satellites? Because this one satellite can almost broadcast to half of the Earth. Maybe we need 5 of them and we cover the whole Earth. Just 5. Why do we have uncountable number? Because at that distance, a geostationary satellite could reach. How can we suspend communications equipment above the ground at a workable height, have control where it is, have the ability to service it, and have a power source? Do you have any ideas?
They're on balloons.
Airplanes. Airplanes have transmission equipment. They're connecting to cell towers because they have a very powerful transmitter and receiver. And when you make text messages and online, the airplane is connecting with the towers. And you're just connecting to the airplane. So an airplane is only 5 miles up, right? And they're everywhere. And so a satellite phone is a strong...
Hold on, airplanes? That would mean that the airplanes are just... do they not need to refuel or anything like that? Or are these airplanes going on something else? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can you have constantly airplanes flying constant? I don't know. I rather think
we do have constantly flying airplanes every single day.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they have to land and refuel and shit like that.
Okay. How many airplanes are flying at the air right now as we speak? Think of a number.
Around the whole plane, not the globe, around the whole plane.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
I don't know, maybe 900. I have no idea.
900. So you would say, on average, there isn't a second where there isn't a plane in the air.
Probably not. I don't
Single
know.
second where the air is clear of any plane.
No, I don't think so. No, there's always a plane somewhere.
So I think you can transmit a lot of stuff from those airplanes.
Yeah, but balloons to me sounds more.
Yeah, but
because they can hold it up.
Figured it out already because balloons are very noticeable, and you can't.
They are. What do you mean? They are admitting that they're sending the satellites up with balloons. You can YouTube this shit.
I mean,
the
camouflage of the airplanes is such a fucking amazing plan that, I mean, we're just a commercial plane. People travel on commercial planes. People will never see that all planes transmit frequencies.
So he's talking about the commercial planes, like when I'm
Yeah.
taking a plane, while it's taking me to my destination, it's also doing whatever the
Yes.
fuck it's doing.
People
Okay, I
never
can.
suspect of that. That's why I said you
Ah,
can never find a plane in a
okay, then I
second. You
got
know what I
you.
mean?
I thought it was.
Yes.
I thought this was separate planes just for this thing. Yeah, that was stupid of
No,
me.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then I got it. The angles from North Star and Southern Cross are vastly different angles given 180. The north is always visible in the north, not true in the south. It is possible on a ball, but proves nothing. Look at commercial air traffic, tons of it, non-stop. You love a flat earther.
Flat Earth Kush gets it, man. They
Yeah,
got
right
that Kush
on.
ready, man.
1 point for Ashman. I'm sorry, the Southern Cross is always visible. It is just a slight rotation aligning the pointer.
Wilson.
I just stuck on that, right? All right, let's continue. Okay, yeah. Then he got a good point here, Flat Earth Dave. Yeah.
Cell phone. It is connecting to the airplane. The airplane's connecting you to maybe jumps from one airplane to another, then to a cell tower, depending on where you are. But it's not a theory. This is called a mesh network, and it's moving instead of the person. It's like a car driving down the road while the towers are driving around the earth. It just went back to the beginning. So if they're not doing this, it's irresponsible because this is way more affordable, serviceable, workable. What's the first thing that Elon Musk did with Starlink, the satellites, when the war started in Ukraine? He said, I'm suspending satellite service over Ukraine. You know why?
Airplane.
There was a fly zone over Ukraine.
He didn't mention that.
Yeah, there's a no-fly zone. So he has said there's no satellites. So you got to turn them off, right? And satellite phones don't always work if you're in the real remote area and there doesn't happen to be a plane near you. But guess what?
Listen, I mean, we've been.
If it's actually satellite cyberspace, you wouldn't give a shit if it's the war going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
War or not?
I mean, why Elon would care about a
Yeah.
war going through like an atmosphere inside the atmosphere, which satellites are outside of the atmosphere?
Right?
Why would you care if a war
Right.
zone is going on in the air? Come on, how stupid can people be? How do they think that we're that stupid, man?
They do. And, they are right. They are right. Because they are banking on this. We can't be thinking on every possible thing there is. Don't have the mind power or the time to think about all possibilities. So they will get away with a bunch of stuff, even to people that are smart, But anyways, listening to all of this, I'm like, dude, we've been lied to about everything, man. And to think that they wouldn't lie to you, I can't understand how people are in that mindset. Like, they wouldn't lie about these things. Why the fuck would they tell you the truth about it? Why? Why? Who the fuck are you that they would tell you the truth about it? Do you think they respect you? They don't give a fuck about you. They see you as a peasant and they want you to eat crickets. I just saw a disgusting video on Twitter. This woman, I don't even know if she was a woman, Asian woman. She was eating one of these big spiders from Brazil. Alive! She dipped it into some sauce and ate it from the back first. And the fucking spider was still alive in her mouth. I was like, are you a fucking alien? Motherfucker? That bitch must be an alien. A tantarilla, whatever the fuck it's called. Tantarilla.
Fucking hell.
Oh, I got it bookmarked, I think. You don't want to see it. It's disgusting.
Oh.
No,
I don't want to see it.
Hold on.
Dude, this comment is hilarious.
Hold on.
The one from Twitch.
I'm sorry, the Southern Cross is always visible. It is just a slight rotation aligning the pointer. Do you live in the Southern Hemisphere? Is that Wilson?
No, I'm not talking about Wilson. The one after Wilson.
It's definitely not in the sky. 24 hours, you know it. If not, go on, look it up. This one. Honest composer, you're a specialist in music and sound, and we get you on this bathroom mix. Shut the fuck up, Demore! This mic is not supposed to sound like this. I'm using Rumble Studios, which is a new thing. This platform thing that we're streaming from. And for some reason, it doesn't let me use my mic. I mean, I'm using the mic, but I got this mic, but whenever I turn it on, after 10 seconds, it turns itself off. You know? So I have to use this one.
Make this into a short, man. This part, man. Your outburst on him. This part is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating because yesterday when we did the stream, this mic sounded great on this platform, right?
It was all good. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, maybe next time it'll be better. Anyways.
Maybe a couple slaps on the back.
Hold on. New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, all see the Southern Cross. Man, you're hooked on the Southern Cross, man. At the same time, a flat earth using a Gleason map, all looking in different directions. Combination of stupid and afraid. Info is easily accessed at this point. Not to be able to find the truth. Exactly. There is no excuse today to be stupid. No excuse. Yet, the stupidity count is going up. What do you mean that they are not helpful? Thanks for the shout out. Thanks for the insult to my mic. I was just going to say it's not supposed to sound like this. However it sounds now. It's irritating. But you can still hear me, right? Somewhat.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just echoey, right? Even if I go closer. What if I go closer? How does it change? Does it change?
Still the same thing.
So I can still be here. Okay. Suck.
Yeah.
All right.
It's everywhere now. And you know what? with artificial, not even just air traffic control on whatever is controlling it, artificial intelligence, it could say, in 3 hours, there's not going to be any airplanes in this region. They might send an airplane there or send a balloon there or send some, they might just to fill in the holes, and they can manage that easily.
So
right?
you think satellite phones are working off airplanes?
100%. I wish there were satellite phones that were common when 9/11 happened because they grounded all the flights worldwide. Or was it worldwide or just here?
I think it was just in the United States.
Right. So I think that would have been an interesting test. There's no chance that a person's handheld satellite phone is connecting 22,000 miles away. It's connecting miles away to something that that can receive the signal and then transmit it with power. Period.
What about, I would say if someone asked me how satellite phones work, I would say they work off satellites on balloons. That's like, when they do that, I think all that image you put up with all the satellites, they're supposedly around the world, like maybe there are that many, but they're all on balloons.
A lot of them are, maybe those are all balloons. I think they just put up so many so nobody can track it.
Or they put up so many because if anybody checks the books, they're probably buying satellites or taking satellite money from the government. We got to build this satellite. We got to build this satellite. They're probably just making satellites all the time just to keep the money rolling. And then they got to have something to show for it. So just put it up on a little little screen.
I believe that perhaps some satellite balloons could transmit some signals and stuff, but they don't have enough power. They don't have enough power to handle 1,000 calls or 1,000,000 calls, 100,000 calls or whatever it is. And they can maneuver where they go. And I think they have they have a battery on them. They collect as much power as they can, and then they use them when they need them. So yeah.
Have you found out how long those satelloons stay up?
There are some reports on shows that are openly talking about them, saying that they could stay up for well over a year. So well over a year, is that 10 years? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy that there's so much evidence that they're on balloons. I mean, they're admitting it. They're making documentaries about it, saying like, because there's film of satellites on balloons in the 50s, like military film. You watch that. That's how they used to launch satellites on balloons. And then all of a sudden in the 60s, they started throwing them up in space. And that just seems like, a scam. Like they never went to space. They've always been on balloons. And now it seems like lately, over the last 10 years or so, people are figuring it out. So now they're putting out these well-produced documentaries about the new way to the new way they're going to start launching satellites with balloons. Is it's cheaper, it works great. We don't need that space shit no more. It's too expensive.
It's good for the environment.
It seems like they're
environment.
obviously
good excuse
concerned with people finding out, so that's why they're just admitting they're on balloons. I mean, they're basically admitting it. There's enough videos out there that were produced by the government themselves. Loon Project.
It's never just one answer. You know, commercial airlines, AWACS airplanes that are up there, drones, balloons, all of that together, there's your mesh network. But I would say 99% of satellite phone communication is done through jet airliners that are already in the air with power, with the exact equipment that they need, okay, to transmit and connect effectively. And that's why they charge, your $5 a minute or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy how they finally got internet on planes. And up until recently, the internet worked. They finally got it, but you couldn't watch videos. It would buffer like YouTube would buffer like every 3 seconds, freeze. Every 3 seconds, freeze. They got internet on planes, but it wasn't quite powerful enough. I mean, it would play videos for a couple seconds at a time, and now they got it down. How
watch videos? How are they getting in on the airplane?
That's what I'm saying. Nobody really knows, right? You would think you would think that if we're getting internet from satellites in space, like the closer you got to space, the better your transmission would be. Like you would think, like when you're on a plane, you're like, damn, this is like clear reception because I'm closer to that satellite that we're getting our reception from. But most people don't even realize that it's everything like, just your regular cell phone when, you're getting everything through towers that are like 100 feet up.
Connecting the towers. That's it. The airplanes are a direct line of sight to towers. They have the power to send the signal, and the satellite phones have the power to reach the airplane. And once it hits the tower, you can call anywhere in the earth because you're on the landlines.
I believe that. Is there any proof of that though, that satellite phones are connecting to airplanes? Is there any have they talked about it in documents or anything like that?
I'm hoping that there's some installers, tower installers, airplane service people listening to this show that can help prove this. But listen to this. If they're not doing that, they're being financially irresponsible because it's a way cheaper way to do it. Way cheaper.
Yeah.
Than satellites in space. Insanity, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to come out and admit it. I love this picture. These pictures of the moon. The craters on the moon are always the same color as the sky is behind it. So here's my question to people: during you got a nice sunny day and you got the moon in the sky, blue sky. How come we don't see the stars? The stars are brighter than the moon. Okay, how does a moon, 250,000 miles away, dusty, dirty ball, reflecting sunlight, which isn't that bright off a dusty, dirty ball, go outside and look at a cement ball on the ground? It's not that bright. And you're closer to it, so it should be brighter than you see the moon. How do we see that in the day sky?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that you can see the moon out with the sun. The moon is such a mystery.
Right, but the moon is whatever it is. I have no idea what it is. Okay, it's here within the Earth system. Whatever it is, did you ever see my I have my rear projection eclipse?
No, let me see it. I want that upper body clench. That's what I'm going after. The underhook, looking for double underhooks. Fuck.
This is me filming. It happened to be very hazy that day, and I was able to film without much glare. This is an actual me filming the eclipse. Okay. Now we don't see the moon. We just see the sun, which is missing. Okay. Let me just switch over here for 1 second. So people think that it's the moon, and it could be, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is the way they say. You don't see the moon in any of these pictures, okay? You see the sky. You see missing sun, okay? You see missing sun, right? You don't see the moon. You see just, like if I hid the sun, it's just sky. You don't see the moon at all, right? It's just missing sun. So just remember that. I think whatever it is that's eclipsing the sun is behind the sun. I'm going to show you why. Okay, missing sun. You don't see the moon. You imagine seeing a moon, but you don't see the moon. All right,
behind the sun.
Here we go back. So this is me, and this is me rear projecting.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Whatever this thing is, it's not in front of the sun, because if it was in front of the sun, there would be some shimmering or something going on. This is. Think of a spotlight, and you're going to the source of the spotlight and covering. Hold on. Let him explain it, but I think I understand what you're saying. Hold on.
A paper towel. They look very similar. You don't see what's eclipsing my light. All right. So here's a an eclipse that was filmed, and we saw this. What is it? The eclipse was like 85%. Now, this is a lens flare. It's moving around. But what's this? It's locked to the sun, so it's not a lens flare. And the sun is eclipsed that much, but it's just so bright it's blowing out the camera lens. But if you like put sunglasses on, you would see the sun looking like this, just bigger. So what is this? Why is it the same? And I say that this is the projector of the real sun, and this is the sun that we see every day. Let's take a look. Okay, so here I am, and I'm creating my eclipse. Now you don't see my moon, which is a Snapple bottle cap. So here's my source sun, and here's my bottle cap moon, and it's eclipsing and creating an eclipse. Okay, you want to say something?
No, I was totally confused until you brought that out. Now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense. So look, we don't see. Let me go back just a little bit.
So you're saying the sun, and I've heard this a lot, is actually a reflection of something.
This is me. I think the sun and the moon that we see are just the projections, for lack of a better word, of the source sun, which is above or within the firmament. Okay, that's just me. But
like coming from the North Pole or something like.
So no one during it when everyone's waiting for an eclipse to start. Nobody with any special camera from the ISS, from anywhere, has ever seen the moon approach the sun, eclipse the sun, or exit the sun. The eclipse happens, and they're like, oh, it's because the eclipse is so bright, you can't see the moon. Well, during a total solar eclipse, you should be able to see the moon.
Yeah, hold on. Obstruction of light and absence of light are different. Yeah. You watch too much Mactoon or Dead Dog, Dave. Look for yourself or don't. Back to the show. An outline of the object would appear if it is an obstruction. Yeah, I think that was what I was trying to say. So he's blocking it from the source instead of obstructing it, right? Anyways.
I mean,
because the sun.
What do you say, Ashman? Yeah.
At first, I would agree with Eddie. I was like Eddie exactly. I was confused, and then when he said we put the paper, but the paper, it means that the sky reflects something, or the firmament reflects the light. If that's the only way his theory would make sense, and it is a theory because this is the first time I've hearing about this. So.
Yeah, but the way the sun is getting, covered like that, it makes more sense that it is what Dave is talking about. So that something is doing it from the source instead of in front of the sun or whatever. Let's hear what he says.
Blocked out. The earth shine should light up the moon like the moonshine lights up the earth on a full moon. Well, on the moon, it's a full earth, 6 times bigger and shinier. It should light up. No one has ever seen the sun, ever seen the moon during the eclipse. So just watch here. So here goes my eclipse. You don't see the moon at all because there's no light coming off of it. So then I thought, you know what? Maybe our sky screen that we see is more transparent. So I did it with a piece of tissue. So here's my transparent sky eclipsing. Look, right there. That's the projector. That's the rear. I'm seeing through the tissue, through the sky, and it looks just like what we saw.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah. Good work. Yeah, the moon is fascinating, and people don't keep track of it. Every night I do. I just, every day I look up, check to see the chemtrails, if they sprayed us today or not. I always look at the sun and where it's at, and notice where it should be, and according to what season it is, what time it is, and then when the sun is setting, you see the moon. Sometimes the moon's in the sky when the sun's out. I'm always keeping track of the moon. And the moon, if you don't keep track of it, most people don't.
Hold on. I got another thing.
Just like a random thing, because
this might be bro science or completely retarded. I don't know until I say it. You know how precise the time is, the clock, the day, the months. Everything is so precise in hours, like 24 hours, 12 hours, whatever, you know what I mean? 24 hours. Yeah. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. Are you telling me this accident, this fucking spinning bullshit with the sun and the galaxies all spinning in different ways and the tilting and all that shit, just happened to make this clock system so perfect? Is that what you're saying? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
You're scaring me, but yeah, I do. I think so.
But I'm getting pissed at the bullshit, man. As I'm saying it, I'm realizing the bullshit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's one hell of a coincidence right there. That the accident of this, you know, the balls, whatever the story is with the Big Bang, the rocks through us, and we're all spinning this way and that way, just happen to be creating a perfect clock time system. Get the fuck out of here.
Out of here.
Right? Get the fuck out of here. Or it's a creator, supreme being that has, just like a video game, programmed in the clock system with the sun and everything going exactly just like in a fucking video game. Anyways. Yeah.
Breathe, Vince. Breathe, man.
Yeah,
The point is across, man. Breathe.
Yeah, the point has crossed.
The sun is on a clock, like, you know, it moves slowly from, you know, daylight saving time to regular time or whatever, you know, just, but
True,
the moon, so like an average person can keep track of the sun, like, oh, it's fucking 2 o'clock, the sun's like right there, oh, it's 7:30, it's setting. So generally, most people know where they could tell what time it is roughly based on where the sun is in the sky, but the moon isn't like that. Every day it's at the same time. If you got to stand, because it's really, this moon is tricky, because you gotta check out the moon every night, especially from where you're like the same spot, like right in front of your house, on your porch, in the same spot. That's where you judge where the moon's at. Because when you're on the freeway, you don't even notice that you're turning and making circles, and then the moon seems like, oh my god, I thought it was in the you know, in the southern hemisphere, but damn, it looks like it's in the north now. But it's only because you can't tell how many curves and turns you've done on the freeway. So it's tricky like that. But if you keep track of it from the same spot, you'll notice that every night at 8 o'clock, wherever it is, or every night at 12, or every day at 12, whatever time you pick, the moon the next day is going to be a little bit behind. 8:30, it's right here. And then
So look,
8:30 the next day, it's right here. 8:30 the next day, it's right here. 8:30 the next day, it's right here. And then when it's all the way to the west and it's really close to the sun, that's when you get that, what is it called, the new moon, where it's super thin, right?
crescent moon.
I'm talking about, is that the new moon?
Crescent moon.
Okay. I'm not that good at naming the phases, but I know where the moon's going to be. I know where it's going to be the next night based on the night before. It's going to be a little bit to the east, still moving towards the west, but a little bit to the east. And the closer the moon is to the sun, you get that little sliver, that little crescent, just sliver. It's so close to the sun. And the next day it's going to be here, and that sliver's thicker. Then next day, 8:30, it's going to be here. It's a little thicker. The crescent moon's thicker, and then it keeps getting thick. And the sun just went down right there. So as it's getting further away, always the full moon is when the sun sets and the moon is directly across from it. So to me, the size of the crescents are bigger as the further away the sun is, because I think the sun is pulling whatever that is, that electromagnetic plasma that makes up the moon. If it does, I don't know. I'm just guessing here, but it seems like the full moon is never when it's by the moon or the sun. Never. It's always when it's directly across. Let me show you. Right? Am I making sense at all?
Yeah, let me show you. It's very easy. On my app, the sun laps the moon once every 28 days. So it's almost a full moon one more time around. And so the moon is fading back. So the sun sets, the moon rises, and then the sun will eventually catch up to the moon. Now, though, as it catches up to the moon is waning. And when it catches up to the moon, there'll be a new moon. The sun keeps track of the hours and the days. The moon keeps track of the weeks and the months. Okay? And then the stars lap the sun once a year. So the stars in each zodiac, as they drift backwards, as it slowly outruns it, keep track of the seasons and the years. The sky is a perfect clock, right?
Yeah.
All of the finest watches in the world are based on what? The sky clock. That's where the accurate time is, right? So how do we live in this heliocentric, gravitational beehive where everything works perfectly? That's the heliocentric model would be a random, chaotic mess.
I was in Costa Rica.
Did you hear him? Oh, your mic is fucking up. But did you hear him?
Yeah, where everything works perfectly, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's good, your mic. But yeah, nobody's thought about that, right? I mean, the Globers have not thought about that.
Hey, great point, man. You see,
It is.
you said
It
it
is a
before,
great.
Dave.
Yeah, but it is a great point. Really, it is a great point, which you should bring up to the Globies. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Explain how this coincidence of randomness and accident just made a perfect clock and days and months and years. Just accidentally, everything turned perfect. Like the sun's 93 miles away, but 93 million, I don't even know what it is. But the sun rays barely reach the earth to, not fry us or, freeze us. It just barely made it. Get out, man. Get out. Anyways.
2008, way before Flat Earth. For all your 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu merchandise, please visit 10thplanetjj.com.
These jiu-jitsu commercials are throwing me the fuck off, man.
Right? But what he got to do it, man.
Yeah.
And then as the sun sets, like you see the ocean, and then so it was like the contrast between the randomness of the clouds and the water, and the fucking the precision of the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Exactly.
It was just fascinating. It was just like the ultimate clash. Like the clouds are just random. Water is just random. It's just random. There's no structure, and it's constantly changing. There's no rhyme or reason to clouds. And I mean, you wind a little bit, and then I guess the atmospheric pressure, whatever, but it's random as shit. It's the opposite. And then right behind it is the most precise structure, the stars, the sun, the moon. And I remember just sitting on the beach, stoned as fuck, just tripping out at the dynamics, and they're just on the opposite ends of the spectrum, but they work together as one. It's crazy.
We're in the north now, and it's the winter is coming, and the sun is just going out and away. I used to think the sun's lower in the sky because the earth is tilted away from the sun, as we go around, but of course we can't feel that motion or anything, and water can't stick to a ball, and you can't have a high pressure next to low pressure, all of that nonsense. But
hold on. Ashman, let me ask you, when it's summer, have you seen the sun? Like for me, when it's summer here in Sweden, the sun is above me, pretty much. It's like up there, okay? Now in the winters, it's almost in the horizon when it's at 12 at the day. 12 at the day. You know what I mean? Like in the summertime, at 12 o'clock at the day, the sun is above my head in the day.
Yeah.
Today, though, when it's winter at 12 o'clock, it's almost in the horizon when I watch the sun. So it went from here to there. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, I would agree with the summer one, but I don't. Yeah, with the winter, I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't think about it that much. Perhaps. Maybe I have to look. Yeah.
But
you're right.
If you think about going back to this one, okay, the street lights or whatever, traffic lights or whatever. If you think about this, on summer, the sun is supposedly closer, in a closer circle, closer to you.
Yeah.
That's why it's summer. Then that would explain why the sun is above my head. But at the winter time, it's going a bigger circle or further away. Then it becomes more like this. You know what I mean? Like the street light that is way down to the horizon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Summer, it's above my head. Winter, it's way over there. It means it's further away. In the summer, it's closer and it's above my head. Anyway.
That's interesting point.
Hold on, what are you saying? The sun appears closer to Earth during winter. The sun also appears larger during... not for me. I see in the summer, it's way above my head. And right now, in the winter, it's way over there. Way over there. Anyways.
Now that I understand, I can see the sun is just taking bigger and bigger circles around me, and it's not coming as close to me. Therefore, it's lower in the sky, and it's getting colder and colder here in Connecticut. It's just going farther away. Each day I watch the sunset on the water. It's a little farther to the left, a little farther south, a little farther, out to the south, and just those little movements make sense. So, people say, well, seasons, you couldn't have seasons if the earth was flat. Seasons prove the earth is flat. You know why we have summer? Because the sun is closer and it's warmer. You know why we have winter? Because it's farther and it's colder. But in the heliocentric model, they tell us the sun is farther during our summer and closer during our winter, and it's the tilt that matters. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous. You and I are sitting outside 25 feet apart.
Oh, yeah, you were just saying that the more right here. The sun also appears larger during winter. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Then why is it cold? If it's larger during winter, it should be warm in that case. What I mean? Right? Larger means
closer.
Yeah. Further away means, far away. So are you saying that in summertime, the sun is further away? That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Yes. And then on wintertime, the sun is closer, hence why it appears bigger. It gets colder. What kind of a logic is that, man? That's some inversion and stuff, man. Anyways.
We don't want to get, the infection. Okay. And we're drinking a beer and it's freezing cold. Right. And we're freezing. And then Hibbler comes over and he's got a pole with a big heat lamp on it, 15 feet over your head. Beautiful. Raining heat down on you. And you're like, take off your coat, your beer melts, all is good. And I say, Eddie, where is that heat lamp, that sun? And you're like, oh, it's right above me. It's very warm. And I'm like, well, I see it not above me. I see it lower in the sky. I see it over there.
Hold on. What do you say? Your mic is sounding a little bit, Ashman. Hold on. Oh, now it's good. Nonsense. The sun is not hot. The sun is not hot. Excuse me?
That's an interesting observation.
It's like saying water is not wet, man. It just seems that way, but it's not wet. The higher we go, the colder it is. Sure, I can agree with that. All the highest mountains are covered in snow. The hottest place on earth is Death Valley below sea level. Yeah, but how much of that is because, I don't know what happens the higher you go, the thinner the air, and when it's thin air, maybe the heat cannot maintain itself. I don't know. I'm no, scientist or whatever. But I will not agree on the sun not being hot, man. Come on, man. I will not agree with that at all. The Concorde flew at 55k feet at minus 50. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with if the sun is hot or not. Dude, the whole reason we're alive, according to the bullshit globe, is because of the sun. They are saying the sun happened to be at the exact distance to not fry us, but also keep, creating life.
And I'm cold. So Hibbler walks over to me, keeping it at the exact same height, and I watch it get higher and higher and higher. It's getting closer and closer and closer, and now I'm warm and you're cold. That's how seasons work.
When you talk about heat lamp like at a restaurant, is that what you meant?
I believe that.
You're at Cheesecake.
I believe that.
And they ask you want to sit inside or outside, and you say fuck it, let's go outside. It's a nice cool night, but it's a little too cold, so they light up those heaters, right? And you want it like right over you, right? The further away that heat lamp is, it ain't gonna do shit for you.
Exactly. It's closer, it's warmer. And so for those people that don't know, the inner yellow line is the Tropic of Cancer, the outer yellow line is the Tropic of Capricorn. The sun is making its way up.
Hold on. The more. It doesn't make sense because the sun in summertime is closer. That's why it's warmer. I know this for a fact because I live in Sweden. It's a fucking cold country in the winter. And the sun is in the horizon at the winter. And in the summer, it's above my head, way closer, and it's warmer. So it has to do with the sun, man. Anyways.
There for December. So right now it's September, October, November, December, and the sun will be out there. It's out here, and Australia has their summer. I can call my friend PK when the sun's right over here and say, hey, where's the sun and what time is it? He'd be like, it's right over me and it's noon, right? In Sydney, right? Because the sun goes right over them. For me, in Connecticut, the sun's farther away, right? But 6 months later, the sun moves into the Tropic of Cancer, and we have our summer. Boom, it's going right over Miami. It's hot in Miami. Right there, right? It's colder in Australia because the sun's farther away.
Another thing, quickly. Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Why are they called that? Because those are astrology things. Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, they are named after astrology. Why is that? Even on a globe. Even on a globe. This is, the globe. What is going on, man, with all of these things, man? What's going on, man? It ain't what they're telling you, man. As you're in an airplane, you can look out the airplane window and see the sun at eye level, and it's negative temperature outside of. Yeah, but I don't think that has anything to do with the sun. It's probably have to do.
Trying to explain, man.
He's probably trying. You're a glober, the more, right? You must be the glober. The sun appears in the clouds. Yeah.
He says the sun is like your microwave, not your oven. What the fuck kind of description is that?
Well, no. What he's saying with that, there is a difference between the microwave and the oven, because the oven heats up the fucking. You have these metal bars or whatever. The oven heats up the metal bars, and that gives heat, while the microwave is heating shit up with some microwaves. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but with waves that makes the molecules dance around and they get warmer because of that. So I think that's what he's talking about between the difference between a microwave and an oven. It's two different types of ways of heating shit up.
Yeah, but what's the correlation with the sun? I understand that point.
I think he's saying the sun is like the microwave, and it's not like the oven is sending some. I don't know what is sending.
What's the oven in this?
Well, the oven in the sun example would be that the sun is like a flame, like a ball of flame that is burning, and that gives you heat. While the other example would be that it's just energy frequency thing that is sending out. I don't know. Hold on. The sun appears at. No, it's flat. Oh, so you're a flat earther. Interesting. I thought you were a baller. I wish I was a baller. A microwave is not hot. An oven cooks with heat. Microwave cooks with light. Yeah. The oven is a heat source. The microwave.
Well.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because what we do know is the moon is giving a cold light.
But it's not a source of light, the moon.
They say it is. Plus and minus. The sun is plus, the moon is minus. Like a battery type of thing. Anyways.
Perhaps.
Now,
I can't see it.
Yeah, to me and you, it's we see what's happening, but what do you think? Let's speculate a little bit. What do you think is making the sun and the moon drift in and drift out? It's got to be connected to some kind of electromagnetic power source controlling it. It's all connected. It's like, it seems like it's not just free floating. It's doing specific routes. What do you think is controlling it? You see that one video there, this one guy, he didn't say anything. He's just showing how he's like just on some those dry erase boards. He's basically showing that we're in a what do you call it, Taurus field or whatever.
That's it. Can I explain it?
In that video I'm talking about?
Totally nailed it. But here's the thing. There's physics here that we can touch and feel and play with that we can't figure out. So to expect that we can figure out the physics of God's creation above us is pretty,
What do you think? It's got to be to me. Again, I think there's some kind of power source in the North Pole. It's got to be, right?
This whole place is a power source. I tell people, get a spool of the thinnest copper wire you can get, as much as you can. Unspool it all on the ground, tie one end to your drone, and send your drone up. Okay? And then when that wire is hanging...
No, say that again?
Get a spool of really thin, like thread thin copper wire.
Okay.
Right? Put it all, just put it all out so it's not tangled, but in a pile on the ground. Tie one end to a drone and send the drone all the way up. And when it's hanging in the air, go ahead and touch that wire. I'm not doing it because there's so much electricity in the air, and that potential, every time you go up, I think it's of a yard, there's 100 volts more of electricity in the air. It's like free energy is everywhere. That's why people say, what difference does it make? What the shape of the earth? Well, it's not the shape that matters. It's the lie and the hiding of our true history. I mean, we don't have time to get into, John Levy and everything beyond that. But they're hiding free energy. They're hiding more land. They're hiding everything. They're hiding everything.
Yeah. So sometimes I get into so basically, let's talk about facts, as in regards to what flat earthers believe is facts. And we're surrounded by an ice wall. The Antarctic Circle is actually the Antarctic shoreline, right? If we're in some giant lake, right?
Yeah.
So we're in some giant lake. We're surrounded by ice. What's beyond that ice? I mean, there's got to be more lakes, right? There's got to be more lakes. Like, we don't know for sure, but there's got to be.
In the outer space, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
This is where we can go into what Hibbler wanted us to talk about, and I love talking about. But again, I always like prefacing that we don't need to leave where we are to prove the Earth is not a spinning ball, that it's a level horizontal plane, and that we're not moving. Right?
No, I'm with you right there. But if this was just a discussion, like, we're already beyond that. We're in some kind of like, everybody, we're not trying to convince anybody of anything. We're in some kind of lake. We're surrounded by an ice wall. There's plenty of video of it.
We want
now. Now you're talking to other flat earthers. You don't have to prove to me. We're on some flat. We're in a lake. We're in a giant lake. What the fuck do you think is beyond it? More land for sure, because Admiral Byrd, he talked about it before they killed him, or before he died unexpectedly. He was on TV saying, "Dude, beyond the ice wall, there's a land the size of the United States, untouched, with massive, resources and shit." So we know, based on what he said, there's at least one continent outside of the Antarctic Circle. There's got to be more lakes, right? Like, this is just one Earth lake. There's probably a bunch.
Eddie, let me give you my investigation so far, and this is good. First, Admiral Byrd said from Middle America. He said when he did Project High Jump, he went down across the South Pole. He said there's another continent with more land bigger than the United States. So from Middle America, he went down here. There's another continent the size of the United States. Don't you think South Africa would know, or South America would know there's another freaking continent down here? Okay, yeah. Right. So then he did his newscast with the flat Earth clock behind him. Okay, it's a clock, flat Earth, right?
Oh, it's the
That
same.
is kind of weird.
Same like the UN
it's a flat Earth map with the clock on.
Yeah,
okay,
that's crazy.
Okay, yeah. We've known for 2,000 years. I don't think we knew in 1950. Okay, I think 1950 the Rockefellers were taking over the school system. They were getting rid of the Gleason's map out of all the encyclopedias. They were collecting anything that said flat Earth. There's people, I did my interview with Ruth in 2020. She was taught flat Earth. I talked to other people that said they were taught flat Earth and globe Earth all the way up to the late 50s. Okay, here in America in public schools. Then all of a sudden, poof, flat Earth disappears.
Where did I would love to see one of those textbooks. Can you imagine if you could find one? You think they burned them all?
Always have to turn in your textbooks. You're not allowed to keep the old ones when the new ones come out. I think they knew. So this is a ship tracking website. Anyone can go to ship tracker, whatever it's called, and you can click on any of these dots and see where the ships are. But we noticed something weird, Eddie. There were some ships way inside of where the ice is supposed to be. Okay, 730 miles from the closest port. Okay, that's huge, right? And at that distance on Google Earth, it says it's 1.9 miles higher than the Earth, right? So higher than the water. So 1.9 miles higher. So that can't be a canal. Well, what's going on? How did that ship get in there? Then we'll zoom out a little bit. We found another ship 905 miles in from the closest port. An active ship. That's 2.37 miles high. It's almost in the center of Antarctica. Okay, according to the globe. So what the heck is going on there? And here's what I speculate. So we clicked on one of those ships, and it had very little information. It said it was 580 meters long. That's a gigantic ship, right? And it didn't tell it where it was going. It didn't have any information other than it was registered in the nation of Kiribati. Where's Kiribati? So we look it up. It's out here in the middle of the ocean, the middle of the Indian Ocean. I have a pin on it. It's a sandbar, Eddie. Okay, it's a little bigger than a sandbar. But China gave them $10 billion recently, and America's given them equal amounts of money not that long ago. They say it's a very important trade route. I found a whole bunch of articles. Other countries are like, yes, Kiribati, very important trade route. Why do they need to stop here? What's going on here?
There? That's crazy.
Okay, so hold on. Doing a little investigation on Kiribati. One of my listeners said, "Look what I found: the Captain Cook Hotel, bed and breakfast, or whatever." Maybe someone's just fascinated with Captain Cook. Captain Cook's the guy that said he tried to circumnavigate Antarctica, and it went 68,000 miles. It took him 3.5 years. Maybe that's just a coincidence. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, so
So
we
it's
looked
an
at the
island.
ships that were landing in Kiribati currently, and guess what? They had very little information too.
What did you say?
I get very sus when I hear about islands, man. Islands in the middle of the
Islands.
ocean.
E Island, right?
Yeah.
The E Island. Yes. Hold on. Gleason's is not a map. No one ever navigated it. It does not have a legend, key, or any measurement. How do you know that, Demore? You speak as if you know that for a fact. It does not have it. I have seen it. I've been there, and I know for a fact it's not. Hey, what's up, Death? Are you, which Death are you? Are you Ted, Bill, and Rufus Death? Or are you another Death?
Dude,
Are you
which
coming
death
for
are
us?
you?
Are you coming for us? Anyways, this is interesting. That fucking island, the Caribbean, whatever you said it was called.
Their destinations
yeah.
were either.
Huh?
How long are we in this video now?
We are.
Right in the middle.
We have 50 to 40 minutes left.
But
it's on 120. Yeah, it's on one. You want it on 1.5? It's on 125 now. Or you wanna?
We're over. Yeah.
You want a
We
part
did
two?
like 2 hours from this. Yeah.
Yeah. What? 20 minutes was some fucking technical problems, man. With this Rumble Studio, man.
That's true.
This Rumble Studio. It's a great image, but they need to fix this so that we can, so when we share the screen, I want the other, now it's only me here. You see what I'm saying? I have to manually switch between the two of us as if I'm a producer. You know what I mean? So I can't do that. Yeah. So there are some stuff they need to be fixing, but yeah. Okay. So let's do part 2 on Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. Thursday.
Which is good because we can cover a lot of topics if we do 2 hours each.
Yeah, and then we're gonna find some clips from the great flat earthers on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Peace out, everybody. Huh? Eric Dubay.
We gotta. I don't know if Eric Dubay does these podcasts, but he's a cool guy to talk to. I've seen him on a couple.
Maybe
of interviews.
Maybe he does. If we can get him on.
Try to reach out. Yeah.
Yeah. It will be fun. Yeah. But yeah, we'll do part 2 of this on Thursday. Okay, people. Yes. Peace out, people, and Earth is flat, and don't kid yourself. Okay. Peace. See you, Ashman. Peace.